They told you that all fruit is nature's candy, a guilt-free gift from the earth. But what if nature's candy is silently stealing the strength from your legs? Welcome, my friends. Professor Vitalis here with your daily dose of wisdom and wellness, where science and experience walk hand in hand. Today, we delve into a paradox that affects millions of seniors, a mystery hidden in plain sight within your own fruit bowl. Now, it is absolutely essential that you stay with me through our entire discussion. Because at the end, after I reveal the 7 fruits that may be undermining your mobility, I will give you the most crucial piece of the puzzle, the therapeutic alternatives. I will share with you the fruits that can actively help rebuild your strength, soothe your joints, and restore your freedom of movement. The solution is just as important as the problem, and you will not want to miss it. Have you ever stood at the bottom of a staircase and felt a sudden, profound sense of doubt? Have you questioned why, despite your genuine efforts, eating what you believe is a healthy diet, staying active and following your doctor's advice, your legs seem to betray you with a growing weakness? Why does rising from your favorite armchair feel like a monumental effort, a task that now requires a strategy of rocking and pushing? You may have dismissed it as the inevitable march of time, an unavoidable consequence of aging. But what if I told you there is another factor, a quiet saboteur that you may be inviting into your home every single day? The truth might genuinely surprise you. You see, the issue often isn't about what you're failing to do. You are already making a conscious effort. The problem lies in what you are doing with complete confidence, believing it is the cornerstone of good health. The vast majority of seniors with the very best of intentions make a quiet error. They do so because for their entire lives they have been taught a simple, universal truth. Fruits are healthy, they are natural, and they are unequivocally good for you. And for the most part, this is correct. Most of them are marvelous gifts of nature. However, this is the reality that so few in the health community discuss with the appropriate nuance. Not every fruit is created equal, and certainly not every fruit is universally beneficial for an aging body. In fact, some of the most common fruits, the very ones we purchase and consume weekly without a second thought, can be the hidden architects of your leg weakness. They can slowly and methodically contribute to nagging knee pain, aggravate the silent fire of joint inflammation, and make the simple act of walking a more challenging, painful ordeal. The very fruits marketed to you as paragons of health may be secretly detrimental to your mobility, your balance, and the foundational strength of your legs. To understand this, we must first appreciate that our bodies are not static. As we journey through life, our internal landscape changes. Our metabolism, once a raging furnace, slows to a gentle burn. Our circulation, particularly to our extremities, can become less efficient. The foods that once served as powerful fuel in our youth can now, under these new physiological conditions, begin to subtly harm us. This is especially true for certain fruits. On the surface, they appear perfectly innocent, a burst of sweet, juicy flavor. Yet, hidden within that deliciousness are high concentrations of specific acids, sugars, and compounds that can wreak havoc on your blood sugar levels, trigger systemic inflammation in your joints, and ultimately weaken the very muscles and vessels that support you. And what is the most insidious part of this entire process? The damage is not sudden or dramatic. It is gradual, a subtle erosion of strength that goes completely unnoticed. It creeps in day by day, week by week, until one morning you wake up with a sharp, inexplicable pain in your calves, or you feel a persistent, deep ache in your thighs after a short walk, or perhaps an odd, restrictive tightness in your knees that wasn't there before. Today, I'm going to pull back the curtain and reveal the 7 fruits that anyone over the age of 60 should approach with caution, especially if you are committed to protecting your legs from long-term damage, chronic pain, and debilitating weakness. Despite their wholesome reputation, each of these fruits has a dark side for the aging body. I assure you, after you learn the science behind this, you will never look at your fruit dish in the same way again. So, if you value your independence, and if you wish to maintain legs that are stable, strong, and free from pain for years to come, then stay with me. Your body might just be waiting for this vital wake-up call. Let us begin with the first fruit on our list. It is a tropical icon, celebrated globally for its supposed anti-inflammatory properties. Yet, for seniors, it may be having the exact opposite effect, acting as a silent instigator of inflammation. Let's discuss the pineapple. Pineapple. The very name evokes images of sunny climates and vibrant health. It is juicy, it is wonderfully refreshing, and for years it has been hailed as a natural anti-inflammatory powerhouse. This reputation comes from a unique enzyme it contains called bromelain. But herein lies the twist. While many people consume pineapple specifically to reduce inflammation, for older adults, its other properties may make it a quiet culprit of pain and weakness. You see, a ripe pineapple is bursting with two things: potent natural sugars and a high level of acidity. And believe me, those sugars are not as benign as they may seem, especially when you are over 60. Let me explain the physiology. As we age, the delicate lining of our blood vessels, known as the endothelium, becomes more fragile and less resilient. These vessels simply cannot handle sudden surges in blood sugar the way they once could. When you eat pineapple, despite its fiber and enzymes, you are delivering a powerful and rapid dose of fructose and glucose into your bloodstream. What happens next? This causes a sharp, swift spike in your blood sugar levels. For an aging circulatory system, that spike is like a small shock wave. It can cause microscopic damage to the small capillaries and blood vessels that supply your lower legs, your feet, and the intricate network of muscles in your thighs. Over time, as this damage accumulates from repeated exposure, your circulation deteriorates. This means less oxygen and fewer vital nutrients are reaching your leg muscles. And what does that result in? It manifests as pain, a profound sense of fatigue, and persistent swelling. It's that dull, dragging ache you feel in your shins after only a short walk. It's that unyielding stiffness in your knees when you stand up. It's that sudden, unexplained pain in your ankles, even on a day when you've been mostly sitting. But there is more. Pineapple is not just sweet, it is also highly acidic. This acid can act as an irritant to your joints, especially if you already live with underlying inflammation from conditions like arthritis. It's like pouring a little gasoline on the embers that are already smoldering in your knees, your hips, and your ankles, causing them to flare up. Some individuals even report a distinct feeling of heaviness in their legs after eating pineapple, as if their very strength were being gradually siphoned away. And if you happen to be on any medications, particularly blood thinners, you must be doubly cautious. That famous enzyme, bromelain, can interfere with how these drugs work, potentially making them either too strong or not strong enough, which is a serious risk. The most dangerous aspect of all, however, is the subtlety of it. Pineapple doesn't cause a major, obvious negative reaction. There are no immediate warning signs or sharp pains that you can directly link to that slice you just ate. Instead, it works its damage quietly, infiltrating your system over months and years until you one day realize you simply cannot move with the freedom you once had. And the great tragedy? Most seniors are entirely unaware that the very fruit they are eating for its supposed health benefits might be a contributing factor to the weakness they feel creeping into their legs year after year. It's not about demonizing this fruit, but about understanding its powerful effects and being mindful, especially if you are already dealing with chronic leg pain or unexplained swelling. Now, if a fruit celebrated for its anti-inflammatory properties can be so problematic for aging legs, what about the next one on our list? This one is soft, it's convenient, and it's world-renowned for its potassium content and its ability to support muscle function. However, it might be deceiving you. Let's talk about bananas. The banana. We could call it the muscle imposter. It's soft, sweet, easy to eat, and practically synonymous with potassium. For decades, we've been told that bananas are the perfect food for athletes and anyone looking to fuel their muscles, prevent cramps, and get a quick energy boost. But for seniors, the story is far more complicated. Bananas are packed with natural sugars and, crucially, very quick digesting carbohydrates. This combination means that shortly after you eat one, your blood sugar level surges upwards. When this happens repeatedly, day after day, your body's cells can start to become resistant to insulin, the hormone that manages sugar. This state, known as insulin resistance, is a gateway to systemic problems. Your circulation, already less robust with age, becomes even weaker. Inflammation, the root of so much chronic disease, begins to increase throughout your body. And where do these effects often manifest first? Your legs. The consequence is a dull, persistent soreness when you're walking or climbing stairs. You might feel a distinct heaviness in your legs after a meal, especially one that included a banana. A nagging stiffness might settle into your calves, making them feel tight and unresponsive. But the story doesn't end with sugar. Bananas can also encourage your body to retain fluid, a side effect that is particularly pronounced if you have any pre-existing heart or kidney issues. This fluid retention leads directly to swollen ankles, puffy feet, and stiff, achy joints. The effect is silent and deceptive. You eat them thinking you are nourishing your muscles with potassium, but instead, they may be gradually depleting your strength and adding to your discomfort. And here is the most challenging part. The impact won't hit you all at once. It's not an immediate reaction. But over months and years of regular consumption, that daily banana habit can contribute to a noticeable decline in your mobility and an increase in your daily pain levels. So I urge you, take a moment to consider the fruits on your plate. If you frequently suffer from legs that feel heavy, achy, or swollen, the familiar and friendly banana might not be as harmless as it appears. Now, if a fruit like a banana, known for supporting muscles, can do this, what about something even smaller? Something that looks so charming and innocent in a bowl. It may be causing a fire to burn within your joints. Let's discuss grapes. The third fruit on our list is the grape, a small fruit with a potentially significant inflammatory impact. Grapes seem so perfectly naive. They're tiny, they're juicy, and they're incredibly easy to snack on. They also come with a stellar reputation, often touted as being heart-healthy and packed with powerful antioxidants like resveratrol. But what most people fail to realize is a hidden danger for seniors. For an aging body, grapes can be a source of quiet leg pain, stiffness, and debilitating inflammation. How is this possible? The primary culprit is fructose. Grapes contain a very high concentration of this particular type of sugar. Unlike glucose, which can be used by cells all over the body, fructose is metabolized almost exclusively by the liver. When you eat a large handful of grapes, you are essentially flooding your liver with more fructose than it can possibly handle at one time. When the liver is overwhelmed, it converts that excess fructose into two harmful byproducts: triglycerides, which are fats that can clog your arteries, and uric acid. It is this uric acid that begins the real damage. Uric acid is a crystalline substance that, when it builds up in your bloodstream, tends to settle in the joints, particularly in the cooler extremities of the body like the toes, ankles, and knees. This accumulation causes a sharp, intermittent, burning pain and swelling often associated with gout. It's that nagging ache that can make even light walking an excruciating experience. Have you ever been woken up in the middle of the night by a stabbing pain in your big toe? Or felt a sudden, inexplicable stiffness in your calves that seems to come out of nowhere? It could very well be a spike in your uric acid, triggered by something as simple as a bowl of grapes you had earlier in the day. And the problem doesn't stop there. This overload of fructose also fuels chronic low-grade inflammation throughout your entire body. In practical terms, this means slower movements, more pressure on your joints, and a pervasive feeling of stiffness. Compounding the problem is the fact that grapes are deceivingly easy to overindulge in. They are so small, you can just keep nibbling. They don't feel heavy or filling. But before you know it, you've consumed the sugar equivalent of a large dessert. Therefore, while grapes might seem like a perfectly healthy snack, for an aging body, they may be subtly working to make your legs weaker, less flexible, and far less comfortable. You now know what can be hiding behind that innocent sweetness. But the list of deceptive fruits doesn't end with grapes. There's another, beloved for its vibrant color and renowned for its hydrating qualities. But don't be fooled. Though it tastes like water, on the inside, it can function like pure sugar. Let's discuss watermelon. Our fourth fruit is the watermelon, which I call the bogus hydrator. Watermelon is the very symbol of summer. It's light, it's refreshing, and it's synonymous with hydration. It seems almost absurd to suggest that this watery, low-calorie fruit could be subtly damaging your legs. It feels safe, doesn't it? After all, everyone agrees that watermelon is a fantastic way to stay hydrated. But here's the secret that is rarely mentioned. Watermelon has an extremely high glycemic index. This is a scientific measure of how quickly a food raises your blood sugar. Despite its high water content, watermelon breaks down so rapidly that it spikes your blood sugar almost as fast as eating a candy bar. For seniors, whose bodies are already less efficient at managing sugar, these frequent and sharp spikes can cause significant harm, particularly to the legs. Let's dissect this process. When your blood sugar level shoots up that quickly, your body responds by releasing a flood of insulin to bring it back down. However, in aging bodies, this entire system is often dysregulated. The result is a cascade of inflammation, which tends to concentrate in areas with poorer circulation. And where does this inflammation often appear first? Your knees, your ankles, and your calves. This can manifest as a feeling of profound leg fatigue that sets in shortly after you eat. You might experience a dull, persistent discomfort even during short, casual strolls. You may notice that strange, lingering swelling that gathers around your ankles by the end of the day. Suddenly, climbing a simple flight of stairs begins to feel like ascending a mountain. The texture of watermelon is light and airy, but on the inside, it acts like a charming trap, gently but surely wearing down the strength and resilience of your legs. Because it's so juicy and refreshing, most people consume it in large quantities. A single slice becomes 2, then 3. With each slice, you are adding more sugar, creating more stress on your insulin system, and fueling more inflammation. It's truly misleading. You think you are simply drinking nature's water, but in reality, your blood sugar is spiking, your circulation is struggling to cope, and your legs are paying the price. So, is watermelon actually helping you stay hydrated, or is each bite subtly contributing to the pain that makes movement a chore? If your legs have been feeling more exhausted and unpredictable lately, it might be time to reconsider the watermelon on your plate. Let's now move on to a fruit that is almost a brand name for health and vitamin C. It's found in breakfast juices, immunity-boosting drinks, and healthy morning platters. For seniors, however, it may represent an acidic assault on the joints. Let's talk about oranges. The fifth fruit is the orange, and its potential for an acid attack on your joints. Oranges are bright, they smell fresh, and they are absolutely ubiquitous in our culture of health. From fresh squeezed juice to vitamin C supplements, they are presented as the ultimate immune booster. However, for those of us over 60, oranges may be concealing an uncomfortable truth. Behind that vibrant citrusy glow lies a high concentration of acid, and your joints profoundly dislike acid. Oranges are, of course, abundant in citric acid. While this might seem perfectly natural and harmless, for a body that is already battling age-related inflammation, stiffness, or diagnosed arthritis, it can be a source of quiet, chronic irritation. This might surface as a gradual increase in knee stiffness when you wake up in the morning. It could be that persistent, nagging pain in your hips. It might be that uncomfortable, achy sensation in your legs after sitting for a long period. Your mobility feels diminished, and you notice more swelling. You might just attribute it to getting older, but that seemingly healthy ritual of drinking a glass of orange juice every morning could be directly contributing to the very pain you are trying to prevent. Here is what is happening on a physiological level. The citric acid from oranges doesn't just sit in your stomach. It is absorbed into your bloodstream, and once there, it can irritate the delicate tissues within and around your joints. This effect is compounded when you combine it with the fruit's natural sugars, which also cause fluctuations in blood sugar. And what is the end result of that combination? A 1-2 punch that promotes systemic inflammation throughout your body. This inflammation spreads to your knees, your ankles, and your calves, making every step feel a little heavier, a little more painful. You see, for a younger person with a robust system, an orange is likely not harmful at all. But in an older person with aging joints, slower circulation, and a less resilient inflammatory response, the effect develops subtly but persistently over time. The most difficult aspect is that you are consuming them with the firm belief that you are doing something wonderful for your health. After all, the orange has been the poster child for wellness for generations. But as you now understand, for your unique physiology at this stage of life, it may not be the benevolent friend you thought it was. What's next? Our following fruit has a clean, crisp reputation. It's green, it's tart, and many people believe it's the safe option because it's lower in sugar. However, it conceals a 1-2 punch that can lead to nighttime cramps, tight knees, and aching hips. Let's now discuss green apples. The sixth fruit is the green apple, a secret cause of leg pain. Green apples look so crisp, clean, and wholesome. Because they taste tart and less sweet than their red counterparts, most people, especially health-conscious seniors, believe they are the superior choice. It seems like the ideal, low-sugar snack. However, here is what most people are unaware of. Green apples can subtly contribute to leg pain, stiffness, and fatigue. The threat comes from two sources: their high concentration of malic acid and their hidden natural sugar content. First, let's address the malic acid. This is the acid that gives green apples their signature sour, tart flavor. And while it might be perfectly fine for a younger digestive system, it can be an irritant for an aging gut. With age, the lining of our gastrointestinal tract becomes more sensitive. When malic acid is absorbed into the body, it can trigger irritation in other tissues as well, including your joints. Some seniors report experiencing a sharp pain in their hips or thighs after regularly eating green apples. Others notice a low-grade burning sensation in their feet or a feeling of tightness in their knees. The effect is delayed, but over time, as the acid builds up, the pain can become more frequent and more intense. Now, let's talk about the sugar. Even though green apples don't taste overwhelmingly sweet, they still contain a significant amount of natural sugars. And for seniors with slower metabolisms, that sugar is enough to cause fluctuations in blood sugar levels. This can lead to fatigue in your calves, cramping in your legs during the night, a feeling of stiffness first thing in the morning, or a sense of weakness when you try to climb stairs. The most challenging part is that green apples are often consumed raw, as a standalone snack, sometimes even right before bed. This means their effects on the body are undiluted and can persist through the night. They appear so pure and healthy, but for an aging body, a daily green apple might be silently making it more difficult to walk, contributing to stiffer joints and leading to more restless nights. Now, if a seemingly simple fruit like a green apple can have this effect, what about a fruit that is tropical, decadent, and intensely sweet, the one that is beloved by so many? Let's discuss the true sugar bomb, the mango. Our seventh and final fruit on this list is the mango, a veritable sugar explosion for your joints. The mango is luscious, soft, and tastes like tropical candy. It's a fruit that is adored by nearly everyone, a special treat enjoyed during the warmer months. Here is the unvarnished truth, though. For a senior who is already dealing with any level of leg pain or joint weakness, the mango may be the single most detrimental fruit you can eat. Why? The reason is its incredibly high concentration of natural sugar. And I'm not talking about a small amount. I'm talking about a massive sugar punch that sends your blood sugar skyrocketing, fast and hard. Now, if you are young, active, and under 30, your body can generally handle that surge. But after the age of 60, your metabolism has fundamentally changed. That rush of sugar from a mango causes a massive insulin spike, which is inevitably followed by a crash. Each and every time this roller coaster happens, it triggers a powerful inflammatory response deep within your body, especially in the joints and the soft tissues surrounding your knees, hips, and ankles. You might experience this as a burning sensation in your toes, or a tingling pins and needles feeling that just won't go away, which is particularly concerning if you have any nerve-related issues. You might notice significant swelling around your feet in the evening, or a creeping heaviness in your legs that makes them feel like lead weights. The trick with mangoes is that they are easy to eat in large portions because they taste light and feel fresh, not like a heavy meal. But this only makes the problem worse. Your body doesn't care about the feeling of lightness, it only cares about the biochemical reality of the sugar, and it reacts accordingly. Over time, that sugar can lead to agonizing joint pain, slow and shuffling walking, and legs that feel unsteady and unreliable. Many seniors eat mangoes thinking they are enjoying a natural, healthy delight, and it is natural. But for aging joints and weaker circulation, we must remember that natural does not always equate to safe. You have now seen the full picture: 7 common fruits, all hailed for their health benefits, yet each with a hidden dark side for those of us over 60. But this is not the end of the story. The good news is that some fruits do precisely the opposite. They actively fight inflammation, combat joint pain, and help you build strong, sturdy legs. Now, let's discuss those, the therapeutic alternatives and what seniors should be eating instead. Let's move on to the most empowering part of our conversation: what you can and should eat. Now that you are aware of the fruits to approach with caution, it's time to fill your plate with those that will work with you, not against you. Because eating the right fruits does far more than just satisfy a sweet craving. It can actively help to heal your body from the inside out. First and foremost, let's talk about berries. I'm referring to blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, and strawberries. These small but mighty fruits are some of the most powerful anti-inflammatory agents in the plant kingdom. They are exceptionally high in antioxidants, particularly a group called anthocyanins, which give them their rich red and blue colors. These compounds are scientifically proven to protect your blood vessels and improve circulation, especially to your legs. Furthermore, they are low in sugar and high in fiber, making them very gentle on your blood sugar levels. They help to combat stiffness, reduce swelling, and promote easier, more fluid movement. Next, let's consider cherries, but with a note of moderation. Specifically, tart cherries are fantastic. Studies have shown that cherries can help to lower levels of uric acid in the blood, which directly reduces the risk of painful gout flare-ups and other forms of joint pain. They can soothe sore joints and help to quell that burning sensation you might feel in your knees or toes. A small handful of cherries, not an entire bowl, can provide significant therapeutic relief. Then there is the avocado. Yes, botanically, it is a fruit, and it is one of the absolute best foods you can eat for joint health. Why? Because it is loaded with healthy monounsaturated fats. These fats are the building blocks of healthy cell membranes and act as a natural lubricant for your joints, cushioning them from within. They also play a critical role in reducing systemic inflammation. What's more, the healthy fat and fiber in avocados help to regulate insulin, providing you with steady, sustained energy without any of the dangerous blood sugar spikes. Are you looking for something that is both gentle and easy to digest? Give papaya a try. This soft tropical fruit contains a powerful enzyme called papain, which aids in digestion and helps to reduce inflammation throughout the body. It is exceptionally mild on the stomach and very easy on aging joints. Finally, remember pears and apples, but with a slight modification. Choose sweeter, lower acid varieties like red, delicious apples or Bosc pears, and always pair them with a source of protein or healthy fat, like a small handful of walnuts or a spoonful of almond butter. This simple trick slows down the absorption of sugar, giving you a subtle sweetness and sustained energy without putting any undue strain on your legs or your insulin system. Each one of these fruits works in harmony with your body, not against it. They do not trigger pain, they do not cause swelling. They help your body find the strength, balance, and peace it is searching for. Remember, it's not merely about eating fruit, it is about consciously choosing the right fruits for your age and your body's current needs. And when you begin to make those conscious choices, you will feel the difference in firmer steps, in smoother movements, and in clearer, pain-free mornings. Now, let's conclude with a few words of wisdom, a message meant specifically for you. The very fact that you have journeyed with me this far tells me one crucial thing about you. You care. You care deeply about your health, your strength, and your future. And I want you to hear this message loud and clear. It is not too late to make a change. You still have time to restore your strength, and you are not alone in this feeling. Aging is a complex process. The stiffness, the pain, the fear of losing your mobility, these things can creep in gradually. And sometimes they can make you feel as though your own body is fading away from you. But here's the profound truth. You can take back control, not through extreme diets or punishing exercise, but through small, sensible, intelligent adjustments, one decision, one fruit, and one meal at a time. The fruits we discussed today are not inherently evil, but they may no longer be the optimal choice for your body's current needs. And that is perfectly okay. Because growing older is not about giving things up. It is about growing wiser. When you begin to eat mindfully, when you choose foods that actively support your joints, your circulation, and your strength, you will notice a profound difference. You will experience less pain, more flexibility, smoother mornings, and lighter steps. This work is not about fear or limitation. It is about empowerment and freedom. Now, I would like to hear from you. In the comments below, please share what you have learned today. What is one small change you feel prepared to make? Your story and your insights are valuable, because when we share our knowledge, we all grow stronger together. And if this information was helpful to you, if it opened your eyes even a little, please express your appreciation by liking this video and subscribing to our channel so you never miss a piece of wisdom that could truly alter the course of your health. Knowledge only works when you apply it. I'm Professor Vitalis. Stay curious, stay healthy, and never stop learning.